Hey everybody, it is Ginger Wynn here, and we are talking more about songwriting today. What a surprise. After one of the latest videos I posted, it was the top 3 tips from taking Ryan Tedder's monthly course 3 times. They asked if Ryan Tedder gave any specific tips for writing lyrics. And so usually I talk about melodies, but in this video I wanted to talk about and touch on lyrics and how it doesn't have to be complicated. You can keep it simple and some certain places to start that make it a little easier so you can just focus on one thing at a time. So we may as well jump right into it, as usual. So we're talking about 3 tips today for writing lyrics and writing the best lyrics that you can write, the best lyrics possible. So we'll start with number 1. The first tip, and this comes straight from Ryan Tedder, is to keep it simple. He said, and I found this super interesting, he said that one of the things that he does with new songwriters that he's collaborating with is he tells them, why are you making it so complicated? He says, what he'll do is he'll take people's songs that they're working on and just simplify them. And so I thought that was really interesting, and I looked back at some of the lyrics that I had written and some of the songs I'd written, and I was like, wow, when it's complicated, it's hard to focus on the song. It almost just sounds like a big run-on sentence. Ryan said it sounds like a lot of cool words and cool lines thrown together that make no sense. It's almost like really cool poetry that is just lots of imagery and all kinds of crazy stuff, but it really makes no sense. And this is a little bonus tip that he said. He said that when you're writing your lyrics, you should be able to read the song, and it should make clear sense. So it shouldn't just be a bunch of lines like, the sun was golden one day, and I said, hey, why don't we take a plane and drift far away? But oh, wait. Like, it's just all fragmented. It doesn't really make any sense. Nobody would talk like that. And so he just said, keep it simple. And if you're reading your lines, make sure it sounds like something somebody would actually say, in conversation. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is, what are you supposed to write about? This is always a huge problem I have, and when I was younger, melodies always came easier. Writing music always came easier. That's why I have my 12 methods for melody creation. If you want to check that out, there's a link below. It's just the methods that I've used to write hundreds and hundreds of songs to where I don't get stuck, and I keep it super simple. I don't even use music theory in those methods because, that's how I find it easier to write, just taking the theory out. So if you want to check that out, that's my forte. Melodies, that's below. But if you're stuck on lyrics and writing words, what do you do? And so one thing that Ryan says, and I found this to be true, is to write what's actually going on in your life. And that sounds super simple, but it can be as simple as, what did you literally do today? And I actually started a song the other day after I went to my cousin's wedding, and I said, I went to a wedding today, wondering if I could find anybody for me, something like that. And so if you're ever at a loss and you feel like you have writer's block, or you feel like you're stuck and you don't necessarily know what to do, keep it simple and write about what's going on in your life that day. Don't overthink it. Just write about what's genuinely going on, how you're genuinely feeling. And you'll be surprised at how easy it comes when you just keep it that simple. So that's tip number 2. Tip number 3. This also comes from Ryan Tedder's monthly course. And I promise I'm not sharing everything that's in the course. There's 30 days of content in his monthly course, so these are some of the top tips that I've learned. But this is number 3, and it's start with your hook. Most people, including the songwriters that I've worked with, start their song with a verse, usually, and they have this great verse, and then they get to a great chorus or pre-chorus, and they're like, oh, this is so wonderful, and then they can't continue the song because they've started at the beginning and they really have nothing left to give to the end of the song. So what Ryan was saying is that when you have all this creative energy and all this passion and enthusiasm right when you start writing the song, start with your hook. because this is the most important part of your song. That's the part that people remember. It's usually the part that is hooky, that gets stuck in people's mind, the title of the song. So start there. Instead of starting with the first verse and getting a kick-ass first verse, and then getting to the chorus and having really nothing that's concrete, start with your chorus and your hook. That's going to be the part that is the most important. Chorus is king. Put all of your energy on the chorus, and if the verses have to, change a little bit to work with the chorus, don't change the chorus if it sounds great. Change the verses. Chorus is king. And another bonus tip that Ryan said was that if you can think of a hook that is something that people say often, but isn't used in a song yet, that's what you want. For instance, Stop and Stare. That's one of One Republic's songs, which is stopping and staring. That's pretty basic. I think Ryan said he saw an accident, and so he was inspired to write that song. Or a title like No Brainer. It's a No-Brainer, Justin Bieber. And it's things like that, Rumor Has It, Adele. It's things that you hear, but you haven't ever really seen in a song that's been popular. So I think it makes the hook more memorable in my opinion. But anyways, as far as Ryan Tedder's tips for writing lyrics, which is what somebody asked in the comments of the last video, here's 3 tips that he shared. I've found them super interesting and very helpful to my songwriting. And if you want to see a video about anything else that he talked about in his course or what I do, comment below and I'll make a video about it. And if you're ever struggling with melody, which seems to be a big roadblock with the songwriters that I've worked with, you can also click the link below, 12 Methods to Melody Mastery. I can finally say it without screwing up, because it is a tongue twister. You can also click the link below and check that out. It's great content, and I keep it very simple, so anybody can do it, even if you don't play an instrument, believe it or not. It's true. So, I'll see you guys later, and I hope this helped somebody out there.